Hi everyone, as Zhongli's rate-up banner draws to a close, we hope everyone has had the chance to build him and try out his abilities. But if you're wondering how to optimize your Zhongli, we have a guide on shield support Zhongli and burst sub DPS Zhongli for you today. Shield support Zhongli is all about stacking HP and casting Zhongli's hold skill before a fight. Whenever the shield is about to expire, swap back to Zhongli and recast the shield. As Zhongli is being used for nothing but his shield, he only needs HP. If you are planning to use his burst for crowd control, you can consider giving him some energy recharge as well. Overall, this makes him very cheap to build. Zhongli benefits most from the 4-piece Tenacity of the Middle Lift artifact set. As for weapons, since he has no regard for damage, Zhongli is best played with weapons such as the Black Tassel and the Staff of Homa, which provide HP stats. Other very good choices include the Skyward Spine and Favonius Lance. For talent upgrade priorities, upgrade his elemental skill, which is his shield, and then his burst. Here is a breakdown of the various components that make up Zhongli's shield stats. Zhongli has one of the strongest shields in the game, with both high stats and relatively short cooldown. His shield also has a base amount and additionally scales with his HP. Also, his shields have a 150% damage absorption efficiency. Its strength can be further enhanced with the Tenacity of the Middle Lift's 4-piece set bonus, Geo Resonance where there are 2 or more Geo characters in the party, and through the Resonant Waves talent which he gains at Ascension 1. Lastly, food can also be used to increase his shield strength, such as with the triple layered Consomme. When building the defense in your party, one may wonder if shields are better or if heals are better. In my opinion, shields are generally considered superior to healing as shields prevent damage from being taken in the first place, thus preventing interruptions and knockback. This indirectly increases your party's DPS as you no longer need to worry about dodging enemies' attacks or being interrupted. If you have any low health supports in your party that are in danger of getting one-shotted, they can be easily protected by the shields. However, shields do have some weaknesses. If your character is injured, shields will not be able to heal them. For example, Xiao's burst constantly drains his HP, which is something a shield cannot help recover from. Taking fall damage will also reduce your character's HP, regardless of whether you have a shield. Another example of damage that shields cannot protect your party from is Sheer Cold, which deals damage over time, ignoring your shields. There are also other examples, so this list is not exhaustive. Here are a few things to be aware of when using Zhongli's pillar. Firstly, the geo damage that the pillars constantly deal may affect elemental reactions by crystallizing enemy elemental statuses. This is usually not a problem, but the pillars may prematurely break an enemy out of frozen, which can be problematic in battle. Engaging in combat too close to a pillar may cause your character to start climbing or have their movement or attack blocked by the pillar, which can be quite frustrating or humorous depending on the situation. Here's an example of a team with Zhongli in the shield support role. Due to his versatility, he can be placed in nearly any team. While Zhongli at 0 constellations is perfectly usable in single player, he becomes invaluable in co-op once he unlocks his second constellation, which grants a Jade Shield to the entire party whenever Zhongli casts his burst. When playing in co-op with a C2 Zhongli, bear in mind that a decent ER of around 160% is recommended so he can cast his burst frequently enough to protect his team. Now we will cover Zhongli as a sub-DPS. A sub-DPS is a role in the party that is given to characters who can contribute significantly to the party's damage by using their skills and bursts. For Zhongli to deal significant damage, some of his HP stats can be traded for crit rate and crit damage. While giving up HP for shields may seem like a bad idea, some believe that Zhongli does not need more than 400,000 HP to protect his teammates from most threats in the game. The rest of these stats can instead be invested into damage. So here's how to maximize Zhongli's burst for damage. There are two levels at which one can commit to Zhongli's burst damage. At the first level, players can equip weapons and artifacts that provide damage stats in order to increase Zhongli's burst damage. However, they will still keep Zhongli in the shielding role for the party with some decent HP. If they choose to go further, they can build a team around Zhongli so that his burst becomes the main damage output of the party. However, this means that one has to min-max for Zhongli's damage, leaving very little HP to provide shields. As with the HP support build, Zhongli will hold skill before a fight to protect the party with his Jade Shield. However, when Zhongli's burst is ready, he can then be counted on to deal a massive amount of AoE geo damage. However, as most of Zhongli's damage comes from his burst, he will need a decent amount of energy recharge of around 160% in order to use his burst frequently. In this build, Zhongli's weapons and artifacts become more demanding and selective in terms of the required stats. He now needs attack percent on his hourglass, geo damage on his goblet, and crit rate or crit damage on his circlet. His substats will also require crit rate or crit damage. This makes him significantly more costly to build, and he may compete with your main DPS for artifacts and weapons. As his burst is the main damage source, 2 pieces of the Noblesse Oblige set and 2 pieces of the Archaic Petra set are recommended. As Zhongli has a dominance of Earth talent, a portion of his health scales as damage for his burst, so HP stats are not entirely worthless even in a burst damage focused Zhongli. These are the following weapons that are best for a burst damage Zhongli. For his talents, Zhongli should prioritize his burst followed by his skill. I have 2 teams to show Zhongli as a sub-DPS. In the first one, his burst deals significant damage, but Zhongli acts in support of another main DPS. In the second one, I have Zhongli and 3 other supports, and together, they combo their burst together for a ton of AoE damage. In the first team, I use Diluc and Xingqiu for the bulk of the damage. So we just saw how Zhongli's burst dealt significant damage, but the main DPS of the party still came from the vaporized component of Diluc and Xingqiu. In this next example, we will build a team around Zhongli's burst in order to take his damage to another level. To support Zhongli, I have characters such as Burnett, Mona, and Venti. Ningguang and Albedo can be substituted at any slot if desired. I call this a dedicated burst DPS Zhongli. So in conclusion, Zhongli can protect the party from literally anything if he's built for maximum HP and shields. Alternatively, he can trade some of his shields for more burst damage to supplement the party's damage output. The choice is up to the player. Thank you everyone. We will come back next week with an innovative guide on using Zhongli as an auto attack main DPS. After that, we will release an Eula guide. Stay tuned for more. We are proud to represent the following Discord servers: the Lia Tea House and the Genshin Galaxy, where over 1,000 players who all love Genshin Impact are gathered. We would like to thank these servers for supporting us, so do check them out. Invite links are in the description below.